And we're live. Welcome to another scene in Chaos in London. This is a brief little quasi-mage scene taking place in the crossroads, where Adib and Adam, who both are in the crossroads at this moment, Adib is actually on his way over to a specific table where he's met some specific gentlemen very briefly. And apparently Adam is following out of schadenfreude or general curiosity. I'm not sure which. Does that sound accurate?
Yep.
All right. Yep. He's not going to just barge in on them though, and I have to make my roll. Damn it. Because this is the one time that roll actually makes a difference. Or at least we hope it does. Charisma, expression, -2 to difficulty. So base diff normally. Sorry, it's charisma, expression, trying to be impressive. Trying to do a proper entrance, etc., etc. Okay, making the roll real fast. That should be 10 to 4. That is 2 successes. Could be worse.
Okay. Well, I might as well.
Charisma, expression. Botch. No. You got 3 successes. You're doing better than I am.
4 successes.
Oh, 4? You got a specialty for this?
Persuasive, but I got a 10.
I mean, yeah. The tens count as 2 if you have a relevant specialty. So.
Well, in that case, no. I got 3. Sorry, I'm used to 10 exploding.
So you guys are approaching, and the group of individuals playing poker at the table look up at you. They're a pretty motley mix. There's an older man. There's actually 2 older men with gray hair sitting. One of them appears to be of British, maybe Celtic descent. One of them appears to be a bit more tan, a bit more Greek in descent. And there are several African American, well, not African American, but you know what I mean.
Very African, not so much the American.
African, yeah. Several African people.
Brown people. Got it.
Jesus. I mean, okay, let's keep going. We get what you were trying to say.
They kind of look up at you and nod, and then go back to their card game.
Nice. Is there a robed figure who's also a skeleton, perhaps?
No.
Darn it! I thought this was Death's table. Just kidding. Sorry, Discworld. So they basically see him approach and then just look back at what they're doing.
They nodded in greeting and then went back to what they were doing. You guys got that much out of them.
That's nice. Okay. I'm gonna do a thing. I brought some. Well, I don't have herbs because there's no way my character would have found proper herbs. However, he has scented oils, or at least, I mean, it counts as scented oils.
I mean,
and he's going to very carefully.
In London is the smoke shops.
Yeah, pretty much. He's going to pull out a small, I guess you would say like a saucer, essentially. He's not going to put it on their table because that's their table. He's going to take a step back from their table, set it down on the ground, basically kneel down in front, pour a little bit of this oil into the saucer, and then basically just Well, he's got a flint and tinder, so he's probably going to use that. This is not carpeted, correct?
If you get the dance floor, isn't? But you guys aren't on the dance floor.
If there's carpet, he's not going to try that. That could ignite. In that case, he will just have to. Okay, he can do this the magic way. He was going to do it the mundane way, but he will do it the magic way. Essentially, what I'm going to try and do is what would normally be a burnt offerings roll, except normally that lets me take some of the quintessence. In this case, I am not even attempting to do so. I am simply trying to basically disperse the pattern of the offering and let it bleed out as quintessence that, presumably, since I'm doing it for these people assembled before me, tiny little offering. It's a start. I will make a roll and I will burn a willpower so I don't botch this and embarrass myself. Shit. It's we're in the Umbra, so it's coincidental. Yay.
Yeah, well, in this reality zone it is, because this isn't just the general Umbra, it's a specific other world.
While he's doing all that, Adam will walk up to them. Evening, gentlemen. This an open table?
They look up and they say, possibly. Why do you ask?
Well, I might be looking to be dealt in a hand or two.
And this man looks at you and says, what are you willing to bet?
I'd say I've got a little bit on me. And he pulls out a small stack of pounds. I'm sure you fellas can it off me in 5 minutes. He says with a wide grin.
The man just waves away and says, bet something that's interesting to us. And
well,
so as you burn the oil, the oil starts burning and everything. The atmosphere in the room kind of changes, and a lot of the patrons are looking over at this bowl.
Because the bowl is literally just now bleeding quintessence from what I just sacrificed. Not like a ton, but,
Some of the more feral-looking patrons are stalking over towards the table that Adib has the bowl on.
Well, he's doing this right in front of their table. Like, he's not, going elsewhere and being subtle about this. He's literally just no, okay, I approached and you guys politely nodded. You didn't tell me to clear off. I'm going to make my homage now. Hey, gods, here!
I mean, that's fair, but these other patrons are a bit more feral, so. And you see some of the security coming over to make sure there's not a fight.
It should disperse pretty quickly. It's not a lot of quintessence, and it's going straight to these guys. So,
yeah, one of the men will just reach out a hand, and almost seem like he's pulling the smoke towards him, and it kind of swirls around the table, and each of them just breathes in just a little bit, and then the smoke kind of disperses and feel the quintessence in it is all spent, and they just
it gutters out.
Smile.
Well, gentlemen, if you want something more valuable than money, the only other coinage I've got is information.
The man kind of chuckles and says, you would try and trade information with gods of knowledge. I do not think that will go well for you.
So you're saying you're already set?
I suppose that would be one way to say it.
Well, that's mighty nice to hear. But, like I said, This coinage I got is information, so if you want something different, you might just have to name it, fat friend.
Man gets a big old wicked grin on his face. And you see, let me pull up his picture. You see this man sigh. He's also sitting there. He sighs and he says, we don't need another incident with you asking for someone's soul and them taking you seriously.
I'm, by the way, politely waiting for, I'm not going to interrupt. Like, I've done my little ceremony, but I am not going to interrupt since this guy, is interacting with them. I'll be like, okay, don't interrupt the gods. Let him do what he's here to do.
Gotcha. Bad. This man he's just kind of shaking his head. Well, the other man is watching is watching Adam with a big old grin.
You really expect me to wager with something that's basically me? I don't think so, friend. Anyone who takes a deal like that is a damn fool.
He chuckles and he says, "You passed. Maybe some other time we'll deal you in. But we're actually about to just finish this game." And then,
well, then I'll appreciate the invite when you feel like having me over.
He'll nod and then look at Adib and say, "Was there something you wanted? It's been a while since we've had burnt offerings."
I make them regularly, but normally to more of a concept. If I may, I am not entirely sure. I know what I am addressing. I do not know what I should call you. May I please know your name?
You can call me Mr. O.
That's the one you got the picture on right now?
Yep.
Okay. And the others don't seem to be in a sharing mood?
They're kind of watching. They're not sure. If you want to make a perception empathy roll on them.
Oh, yeah, I'll perk empathy the gods. What can go wrong?
You receive 12 successes. You perceive their divine form and instantly burn up in
You perk empathy Cthulhu. He is listening to a non-stop loop of Nyan Cat.
God, no! Oh, the no! Okay, let me see what I have for perk empathy. I don't think it's a very good roll in my case. Well, it's better than nothing. What's the diff?
Standard. They're not being too shady about it.
Oh, 3 successes.
So most of them seem like they're just kind of politely listening, like they aren't really sure if you're just talking to him or involving them all.
That'll probably be covered by what happens next. Once he's gotten a name to call him, he's just going to nod and just looks a little curious, like, okay. Mr. O, I am not sure which of you, or if any of you, would care to how would he say this? He's not as tongue-tied as I am right now. Let me think of your phrases. Okay. Mr. O, I have a request, and I am not sure what the cost would be, or if any of you would feel generous enough to barter for this or name your price, but I seek knowledge of ancient ways that can be taught. The arts, the crafts, so to speak. I know that these things exist, but I do not have them, and even if they are not something that I may benefit from, I intend to share that knowledge with my fellow man. Those who prove worthy of controlling this knowledge and using it properly.
So Mr. O kind of blinks and says, He kind of takes a second and says, so you wish to know the price of knowledge?
Yes.
Kind of looks at the other people at the table. There's kind of a moment where, like, quiet, silent communication between them as they're looking at each other. And then he looks back to Adib and says, it is not an unreasonable request. Here is what we will ask. One secret for each one of us that you wish to gain knowledge from. It does not need to be your own secret, although those will suffice if you wish to use them. But one secret per deity you wish involved.
I was going to think. Looks a little troubled. He's like, secrets. It's like almost like he's justifying something to himself. He's like, a secret is not the same as a lie. It's simply a truth that is sheltered. But my knowledge is scant compared to others here. But I am somewhat curious as to what secrets would interest a god.
It is not the content of the secrets that interests us. It is the... He kind of thinks for a second.
The significance?
Yes, the significance, the metaphysical power behind a secret uncovered and then given.
Think of it this way, friend. Knowledge is power. You're exchanging some of your power for some of theirs.
I understand. It may take me some time to come up with appropriate secrets, but I believe I will be able to do this, yes.
And he nods and says, very well. We most anxiously await your return with these secrets, then.
Of course. And he will bow politely and pick up his little saucer, which is, completely bone dry at this point, and tuck it away and stand up. And looks over at Adam.
As he does so, make me a really quick perception alertness roll.
Okay, diff 10 or diff 10, diff 6.
Yeah, diff 6, not diff 10.
Diff 10 right now.
Please
okay,
punish
I got 0
me.
successes. I got 0 successes.
Adam can also make this check if he would like.
Okay, perk alert.
Yep.
Let me see what perk alert is.
Percussion alertness. It's your music rhythm sense. Percussion, the best attribute. That would be 3 successes.
Damn, that's pretty savage. So Adam notices as Adib stands up, picks up his saucer, that there are a number of sort of wild-looking women who are watching him, and kind of making their way towards the door as they're watching Adib.
Which door?
The one that leads out into London.
Ah. I am, of course, oblivious to this.
Yep.
And Adam just makes no outward gesture that he's actually seen this. He is acting as oblivious as Adib is.
Well, once he's gathered his stuff, he will, and he's made his proper bow and so on. He will proceed towards, well, for the moment, a table. Probably get a drink or something before he wants to head out. I know we don't want to keep you too long, though. We're not going to drag you out for a half hour for just social stuff. But if Adam follows him to said table,
he'll actually give a very cowboy-esque bow to the gods of knowledge at the table. Give Minerva my best if you see her, and then he starts walking.
Say that one more time. I didn't catch the name.
Minerva.
Okay.
Athena.
Yep. I know who it was. I just didn't hear the name.
Okay. Once they get to the table, he's just going to be like, "Oh, that could have gone far worse."
That's not too often you get that nice of a deal from the gods.
No, I would imagine not. I will make sure to take... I will not say take advantage of it, but I will use it as it is offered. That could be very helpful. These... Most of our kind that I have met so far in this city seem to believe that what they are fighting is a losing battle, or that if they can win, it is through some means that they do not yet understand, that their secret, that the secret to victory will come riding upon them in the night, and they will just win through some complete dark horse, if the term, I believe. But I do not believe that is the case.
You're a bit ignorant on the past couple of centuries, aren't you, friend?
It may be somewhat more than that. I do not have strong memories of where I was before or what things were like, just that they were definitely not like this. However, I have had it summarized by a few different people now, and it appears that whatever strategy is being used is not working.
To give you a little better idea, I might as well give you a brief history rundown. You good for that?
Oh, see, I'm totally fine with it. But in character, I'm totally fine with it. Oh, see, I'm like, oh, poor Joey.
Sorry, Joey.
No, that's fine.
All right. Back during the Mythic Age, people like us could use whatever will working we wanted to openly. People believed in it. Everyone did. Worldwide.
That is how things should be, yes.
But then things changed. You see, there were a bunch of will workers like us who thought that technology could be worked alongside magic. There were some who were in power at the time who didn't like the idea of sharing either their power or their knowledge. They had grown fat and lazy off of the work of the common folk who were toiling away in the dirt. So these new mages decided to band together, share their knowledge amongst each other and among the populace. Lo and behold, give it a couple of centuries, and suddenly the populace believes more in these techno-mages than in regular magic. And of course, you get people believing in what you do globally, everything shifts. So now their beliefs and their views on the universe are in ascendancy, while everyone else's is going down the toilet.
That is not dissimilar from what I was already told. The issue, though you did say it in more detail, thank you. The issue is that what to do about it, which The solution that I have heard from most others is attack the people who are in charge, which that is that would, if they were able to do so successfully, I suppose that would remove the chief rival, I suppose the word would be. But
Well,
that would not solve the problem.
It really doesn't matter how many people on the Union side you attack. You could wipe them all out, and reality would still be against you.
Exactly. Which is why... Sorry, go ahead.
They worked long and hard to make sure that reality was safe for humanity, as they put it. Most of the more dangerous mythical creatures are locked away, unable to access this realm. The only ones of any threat left are us and the other supernaturals you might see roaming around.
Kind of shakes his head slightly. This is still not how things should be, though. I do not think that one needs to have just one or the other. This world could learn how to use magic once more, and it need not forget what it already knows to do it.
Well, if you could convince the Union that using these mystic arts would be in their best benefit, that would cure things. But I doubt you'd get many people seeing things your way.
I have no intention of trying to teach those who would hide the truth.
Well, like I said earlier, friend, knowledge is power, and a very powerful weapon at that.
Which is why sharing it and arming others with it is the best tool to victory.
So in other words, you're intended on using the Union's own tactics against them. I like that thinking.
Perhaps. There are many people in this city who are disadvantaged. They would be eager for anything to lift them out of their current predicaments.
So you're going for
give them that.
You're going for what amounts to the peasantry.
They are the people who deserve this the most, in my opinion. Many of the people who are... I have seen the lifestyle that the more comfortable people have here. You have hot water whenever you wish at the touch of a knob. You have soft beds. You have hot food at the touch of another lever. You have anything you wish.
If you've noticed, most people around here have only one or less siblings.
Yes.
That's generally because people live well into their 70s and 80s naturally. Healthcare has come a long ways.
I do not know if that is new to me or not. There are many gaps in my knowledge. That sounds like a long time.
This is more mundane.
Magic can do many things.
Doing it all without magic, using pure science.
I do know that it would be... I do intend to try and share this among the people.
I wish power to you, my friend. If you're going to repeat history and hope to bring about an age where technology and magic can exist side by side, I sincerely hope you succeed.
It would be something, I suppose. But we will see how it works. I am a long ways from that now, but we will see. Thank you, though. That is history I was not aware of. And with that, he will gather his stuff and prepare to leave, unless anyone stops him, which I think Joey stepped away, so.
Yeah. Adam will wait a bit and then trail him.
Okay, let's see. Joey is probably still AFK, so we may have to do technical difficulties.
Please stand by.
You monster.
We are experiencing
God.
difficulties. Technically, you are the difficulty.
God damn it, Gladys. Oh, God. Well, any minute now he'll be back, so. Pardon the delay, anyone who is viewing this in the future. Hey.
Please. Hold on.
Please stand by. Technical difficulties.
No, stop using that. It does tend to kind of like when you first activate it, it gets really loud for a second and it emits a nasty tone.
Mm.
Like it didn't do that every time, but it did it that time.
And he's back. Yay.
Hooray!
So, to catch you up, Adib has exited. Adam waited for a minute and then followed him, trailing him.
Okay.
I am still oblivious that I am being followed because he didn't tell me anything, so yay.
So,
You cut out there, Joey.
make me a perk alert.
1 perk alert coming up. What difficulty?
7.
Did I roll or
2
am I good
successes.
with the previous?
Is Ben good, or should he make another roll since he already saw them earlier?
Ben is good.
Okay.
Okay. I got 2 successes this time.
All right. So as Adib is walking down the street, he sees out of the corner of his eye a group of people following him. They appear to all be women, although most of them, that are they're just rather weirdly like they're in like torn clothes and stuff like that. Most of their hair is wild and tangled, and they're just following him.
Oh, see, I have a very good idea as to what these are. In character, I can say there is no way in hell my character would know. That culture was after his time. So no need for a roll. Unless they're umbral creatures. I guess I could technically make spirit lore? Maybe?
They're denizens of one of
Is
the
it-
spirit worlds.
Is it
But they're
spirit
not
or
spirit
umbral?
creatures.
I got one of those. Hold on. Spirit or spirit? I have umbral lore 1.
Okay. Since it's umbral lore, the problem is he wouldn't know of them.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's one of those things where like he has some bits and pieces of like current umbral lore information, but it's kind of filtered.
Hmm.
Anyways, if you don't think it applies, it doesn't apply. No big deal. Either way, he's
All right.
going to notice these people, so he's just like, He's going to turn down an alley at some point, well before he would have normally turned into an alley to go to his tent city home. And you see, this is the point where a smart person would run or hide behind a dumpster or something with their non-existent stealth roll or something else. Instead, Adib is going to walk about 15 feet into the alley, turn around, and like just put his hands on his hips. Well, one hand on his hip and the other hand on his dagger pommel. Very plainly waiting for them to turn the corner.
So they come around the corner and they see Adib, and they come a little bit down the alleyway and stop about 8 feet away from him or so.
And they do not register as spirits?
No.
He said they have torn clothing.
Yep.
He's going to look at them. He's going to tilt his head slightly. He's just like, I still do not speak English. He says that in his own language. He's going to think for a second, like, how best to solve this. Are they making hostile moves, or are they just watching him?
They're just watching him. They've kind of fanned out a bit. And they're blocking his way where he can't get out of the alleyway through that end, but they are just watching him at this point.
Just kind of looking at them, thinking for a moment. Like, unless they actively do something, this could draw out for like a good 30 seconds as he's just considering this. Like, if they don't make the first move, he's just silently watching, thinking.
They're just doing the same, watching him.
I think I can get a quick response from Tiger. I already did on this topic. Hold on.
I have a doubt of Nordic lore or anything showing up for that.
No, this would not be Nordic lore.
Okay.
Okay. How many of them are there?
There's about, I think I said 8 or so.
Shit. Okay, well, what I can do, based on what Tiger has let me do before, my genie can allow, because we still need to come up with a list of things this thing can do without Tiger being here. But one of the established things we have gone with is it can allow me to communicate with anything else that has a language in exchange for quintessence. In this case, he will indicate, do any of them seem to be leaders or no? Like, are they taking their visual cues from one of them?
No. They're almost like out of character, this is the comparison limit, because the deep probably wouldn't get the comparison, but they're almost like a pack of wolves where they're not actively like nobody's taking the lead. They're all just kind of standing as a group.
He will indicate one of them, like his hand that is not on his dagger pommel, which is his left hand, and that's the one that has the ring for the record. He will raise the hand to his lips, whisper something, and then he like points at one of the ones in the middle-ish. And I am losing 1 quintessence because that's what I have to bribe my familiar with to do anything for me. Pity me. Gotta mark that down before I forget. Hold on. Because otherwise I will forget, and then it'd be like, Solid, you don't track your quintessence. God damn it, Solid, you're such a screw up. Okay. Got it. And bribing familiar for 1 point for translation. Got it. Okay. Now he should be able to communicate back and forth with that one individual. She will understand him. He will understand her, no matter what language they're speaking.
All right.
And he will say, while he's pointing at her, "What do you want?"
You're making a mistake.
And what mistake would that be?
Dealing with those creatures.
They are gods.
Yes, and that means they will do everything in their power to harm you, even if they are doing it under the guise of helping you.
You have a very warped view of the gods.
Do we? Do you know the story of Medusa, young will worker?
No, never heard of her.
She was a priestess of out of character. I can't remember if it's Aphrodite or Athena. I think it's Athena. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, and I'll look it up after
Could
the
even-
scene.
yeah.
She was a priestess of Athena, who was pursued
Athena.
by the god. Okay, who was pursued by the god Poseidon. And the woman does actually in character take a break there. Like she paused, like she was actually thinking.
What the hell is that noise?
I think Ben's revving up a 6-shooter.
Hyperloading
6-shooter
speed. He's preparing his gun
laying up
kata.
behind you.
Exactly. He's got his gun kata. Run. Continue.
She was pursued by the god Poseidon, and in fear of him, she ran into the temple of her mistress Athena. Poseidon pursued her and raped her on the steps of the temple. Do you know what her patron goddess did?
Given it was a just kind of tilts his head slightly. There are many ways that could end.
She cursed Medusa with ugliness so powerful it would kill anyone who gazed upon her. For this was her punishment for defiling the temple of Athena. The god Poseidon escaped without punishment. They are cruel, fickle beings who care not for humans.
You missed the point entirely.
Do we?
The gods that I know, the gods that I understand, are as human as we are. They were never meant to be above us or different. They rule as we would rule, for they are as we are. Their sins are no worse than the sins you or I would commit.
If that's what you choose
Also,
to think.
Ben, goddamn you! Oh God! Continue. I'm sorry, Joey.
The woman just laughs after she says that, and then turns and looks at the others, at her fellow sisters, and says something very fast in a language that you normally wouldn't understand, but
I understand right now.
yes. And she is saying, "Let us go back. We will report to the master. This one has made his choice." And then they start turning to leave.
You said there are 8 of them, so sorry, go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ben.
When they turn around, Adam's there, and he just nods, "Ladies."
They kind of give him a bit of side eye and then just start filing around him as they leave the alleyway.
And not until the
after
very
that-
last one has turned the corner.
After the last of them have moved past him, his hand comes out from behind his back.
And Adib's hand comes off of the pommel of his dagger. Feel like I wouldn't have won that fight, but I'd have taken one down with me. He just kind of looks at him. You didn't understand most of what they were saying, I take it.
Judging from the body language, you're already a hit with the local ladies.
They do not approve of divinities. Fools.
I wouldn't approve of them either, he raises an eyebrow. After all, the gods are just as human, if not more so, than we are.
And thus they do not need our approval. They are as we are.
He just stares at Adib for a moment, quietly nods, and then walks on his way.
Yep, he's going to nod, and then he's actually going to go back and walk through the alleys because he knows how to get there from here. And if, unless there's anything else, is that good for us to end our scene?
I'm good.
I think so.
Alrighty. In that case, thank you players for playing. Thank you any future watchers for watching. Another scene in Chaos in London.